Hi there, it's Karen here, and today I'm doing another canvas, and I'm using these two leaf shapes. They're chipboard pieces by Crafts. They're quite thick and quite a dark colour, and I just thought they made a lovely, nice big spray on the page, on the canvas. But first, I'm going to start with doing a little bit of mixed media using this. It's called flexible modelling paste by Liquitex, because I thought the flexible modelling paste would work quite well on the canvas because there is a bit of give in it. And I'm just using this harlequin pattern, I suppose you'd call it, a diamond pattern. And I'm just doing a couple of areas around the canvas where I think I might need a little bit of texture, a bit of dimension. And I'm just going to use another stencil here just to get a bit of variety. This is some dots. And the flexible modelling paste is quite good on this because it, as I say, the canvas does have a little bit of give, especially in the middle where it's unsupported. So I felt that the flexible, when it dries, it won't actually crack, as perhaps some of it. I haven't tried any other modelling paste on this canvas. This is all a bit new to me, but I did think the other stuff might be a bit more rigid. I could be wrong. And I'm doing one final area of modelling paste on another stencil in the middle here, just to get a bit of variety in the background, a bit of texture and interest. And just a little bit just along the side as well. I wasn't brave enough to do texture paste actually along the sides of the canvas, as I've seen other art journals do, but I might manage that another time. So now I'm going back to my leaves. They also look a little bit like wings. I am when they're on the canvas, but they are leaves, I think. And I'm just covering them here with some white gesso, so that they will take also to knock back the colour of the brown, because they are quite a dark brown. So I think eventually I will give them a couple of coats. I think I probably have given them 2 coats of white here. And I'm just placing them on the canvas, seeing where I want them to go. The texture paste has dried now, so I can just lay them on there without messing it up. And now I'm trying to find some other embellishments to go with it on the canvas, and go through this box of old chipboard shapes. I've had some of these shapes for years and years. I've got some swirls and some squares and all sorts of bits and pieces. I haven't hardly used them, even though I've had them a long time. This is a sheet that I haven't taken any from before, and I thought I'd take one off there. Just playing around, trying to see what might work with the leaves that I've got on there already. But they do look a bit too bulky. They just take up a bit too much space. I do keep trying different connotations of the different swirly shapes. I like them, but I think the leaves are such big pieces that on the size of this canvas, they're really just a bit too much. So now I've gone into my little script, chipboard, no, not chipboard, little wooden wood veneer sheets that I've bought a few from Scrapping It. They're very, very thin and quite delicate, and I think they look quite nice on the page because they're not quite as dominant as some of these chipboard pieces. I keep trying. I wanted to get that bird on there, but it doesn't make it on. I did keep trying, but it won't make it on the canvas. Then I found these really pretty little sprig floral pieces. Again, these are very thin. I think they're chipboards, decorative chipboards. I bought a bit of a selection of them from a little while ago, and I think these little floral ones are really pretty and very delicate. So I thought that would look quite nice on that corner there. And then these 2 flourishy items along the side also look pretty good. So they're going to stay. And now I'm just sticking them all down with my 3D matte gel. And that's the position they're going to be in. You see they nestle quite nicely in together. And I rather like that arrangement. And I'm now going to add my little chipboard flourishes as well, and the flowers. So those are now set on the page. They're all stuck down. Now I'm looking for a few more pieces just to add to it. And I had a little pack of wooden leaves. Well, they could be feathers, leaves or feathers. I think you could take them either way. I'm calling them leaves, but I think you could definitely consider them feathers. I'm just trying a few on here. I'm only actually going to end up choosing 2. Again, there isn't a lot of space, and I didn't want to overdo it, overload the canvas there's too many pieces. I'm just trying to keep it fairly small. So that little chipboard hello I thought I found, and I thought that looked quite nice there, so that's going to make it on. And then I've got a couple of little tiny metal embellishments that I found in my little metal box. The little tiny metal leaf is going to go on there, and these are a couple of little stars. I think they're stars. They're so small I can barely see them. And I'm going to put them on that either side of that flourish there on the right. And there's a little wooden butterfly which won't stay where it is now. It's going to be moved. But anyway, so I've decided they're the pieces I'm going to use. So I'm just going to cover them all with a bit of white gesso. You can do it when it's on there. I could have stuck them on and gessoed them afterwards, but I decided to gesso them first and then stick them on. It works either way. So I'm now going to just stick those on. So those 2 leafy feathery shapes are going to just nestle into that space between the 2 big leaves. Just there. And they're stuck on. And this is a little teeny tiny metal leaf. I don't even know where it came from. I found it in my tin of metal pieces, and I thought, well, I could just pop that in the middle there and that'd go quite well. It's so small, it needed to be just part of a bigger embellishment, because on its own it wouldn't really do anything. And I'm just sticking down these 2 metal stars. I think they look like a star shape, and I'm just going to gesso those as well. And I've got this little pack of resin embellishments. They're mostly different insects. There's a butterfly and a dragonfly, and I just thought it might be quite cute to have that a little fly on there. So I'll come back to that in a little while. I've just picked it out. But now I've got everything stuck down and gessoed. I couldn't wait to get on with getting some paint on here. So I picked out 2 shimmery paints. This small pot is a pot of shimmers by Shimmers, and it's called Mint to Be. That's the colour. And it's a shimmery minty colour. It's really pretty. And now I've opened that. That's not the one I'm actually using at the moment, sorry. I've got it open ready, but I'm starting with the one I'm starting with is actually a metallic acrylic paint by Art Alchemy, and it's called Mermaid Sparks. Really gorgeous. And that's very sparkly as well. So that I wanted to put that down the middle of my canvas as a sort of to work out from. So I'm kind of starting in the middle with the sparkly acrylic metallic-y colours. So I'm now adding this little bit of shimmers around just to soften all the edges. It's Mint to Be. It's a very similar colour actually. It's also shiny. And I'm just putting this area of shiny gorgeousness right down the middle of the sort of diagonally across. And then I'm going to work outwards with my mists. And you'll see it looks a bit strange at the moment. You will see it does work. I assure you, it looks gorgeous at the end. I must say, I'm really pleased with how it works out. So now I'm starting going in with my mists. And I'm actually using mainly 2 colours by Dylusions, the polished jade and the vibrant turquoise. But for both of those colours, I decanted some of them into a second bottle, into the smaller bottles, and so that I've got a lighter colour to use as well. It just knocks them back, makes them less vibrant. And then I've got the unadulterated ones going in to give the really bright colour. And then you see this is my decanted one of the turquoise, and it's just a softer colour. And I've also got a shimmers there, which is, I think it's called Hermit the Frog or something like that. It's sort of like a yellowy green, which I thought just lifted everything and gave it a little bit of a nice little lift of colour, sort of a yellowy greeny colour as well in the middle. You can see the ones that are not actually, you can see they're not Dylusions paints, but they're just watered down, and I think it just gives them a little bit of a softer look, because those Dylusions paints are so strong and vibrant that they can actually be a bit too much sometimes if you use them without on their own. So I like to mix them in with a watered down one. Now I'm going to work on my little bug, and this is a metallic paint, and it's rusty red. I'm actually mixing it with some Heidi Swap, excuse me, some Heidi Swap texture paste in gold. I've mixed the gold with this metallic acrylic paint to give it a sort of a bit more of a shine. I don't know whether the gold made any difference, but it thickens it up because the paint is a little bit thin. So I just thought I'd mix those two together on my little bug. And then I'm just giving it a little brief spray of Heidi Swap Colour Shine in gold as well, just to give it a real shine. There you are. You can see close up how it looks. It's sort of a red with a gold shine. In the end, I don't use it because the colour's wrong, as you can probably see already. But I will use it another time, and I'll have to do another one. So I'm just adding a bit more spray around the edges, and I'm just going to try and actually sort of add it to the sides of the canvas, so I end up with paint all along the sides as well. You need to cover your sides when you're doing these canvases. So I'm just adding a little bit more colour in that corner. I'm going back in with my mermaid sparks and just doing a little bit more along the edge of the canvas, just topping it up and just putting some on the leaf. I've decided that needs a little bit of a lift, bit of shine and sparkle as well on the leaf shapes. So I'm adding a bit of the mermaid sparks on there as well. I'm going around the sides, making sure all the sides are covered with paint or with some of the spray. Trying to carry it on from the sides downwards, really, I suppose. So here I'm just going to spray a little bit onto my mat so that I can paint it in along the sides. I didn't want to add too much directly onto the canvas, so I'm just using my paintbrush to add the extra bit of paint along the sides, just to fill the whole area in. And then I'm using the bit more of the polished jade, bit on the canvas, and then some on the side. Just keep adding little bits just to highlight here and there. And it's building up the colours, and you can see all the texture is really shining through. So a bit more of the shimmers, it's meant to be. Just adding a little bit to the leaves and those little leafy shapes in the middle, giving them a little bit more of a shine and a bit just lifting them up a bit. Just keep adding different colours, making, just highlighting different things, making sure it looks how I want it to look and has a bit of sparkle to it. I love this mermaid spell. I couldn't help. I just kept going back to it. I think I wasn't all that keen on how the other one looked on the little leaf, so I thought it really needed a bit more. And I've added a little bit to my butterfly as well to make that stand out a little bit more. Right, so now I'm going to add some flowers, because you can't have leaves without flowers, and the flowers are the final thing just to really finish off this canvas. I've done all my paints and my inks, and I think the colours are beautiful, and now I need to get the right colour combination of flowers to really finish this off now. I had originally planned to go with some coral flowers, and then I found I remembered these, and I thought these are the perfect colours to go with this. So this is just a little pack of I think these are from Prima. I've got a few packs of Prima flowers, and I've got a little pack of butterflies, as you can see there. I'm going to pick one of those out. So just finding some flowers that I think will really enhance the colour scheme that I've got here. And I've got a little box there. When I open a pack of flowers, what I don't use, I've been putting in this box. I'm seeing if any of those work as well. Picking out some more minty green ones to try and go with the colours that I've already started with. So I'm going for a sort of lilac, dark blue and minty green combination, because they seem to go really well with the colours of the canvas that I've chosen. So just picking out a few. And here's another pack of Prima flowers that I thought I'd dive into and see what else I can find. And what I don't use, again, is going in my box. I thought I found this lovely big one. I thought that can be my centrepiece. And it goes really well with all the rest. Just tucking it around the area. I want to just keep them all around the middle, around the centre where the two leaves join. So I've got out my hot glue gun, and I'm going to stick them all into place. bit awkward with that that lead. It kept getting in the way of my wire from my gun. There we go. So they're all stuck down, and the butterfly as well. I've just decided to stick with the one butterfly in the lilac, and I'm just finding a few more little tiny flowers. They're little buds that were in that box. A few little buds that I'm just going to tuck around as well. Just fill in all the little spaces, and a few more little tiny flowers, just tucking them in here and there. I don't know if you can see the colour of my hands. I got in such a mess with those sprays. I had blue hands for days. So now I found another little bug, or little fly, that's pretty much the same as the original one from that pack. But this time I'm going to colour it in pink. So I thought a pink fly would actually work better. And this is another metallic paint. I think it's Pink Blush, I think it's called. Again, it's by Art Alchemy. They do some beautiful metallic paints. And I'm just going to dab it all over with the paint. Actually, no, sorry, this isn't the Art Alchemy one. This is one of the Shimmers paints. It's Pinko de Mayo, I think it's called. So I used that as the base layer. For some reason I'm now adding a little bit more of the this greeny colour. I thought it needed a little bit extra because there wasn't much showing. Just a few to highlight a few bits. I think that's why the little fly's drying. I thought I'd do a little bit more of this green and a bit more of the mermaid sparkles by the looks of it. Can't resist that mermaid sparkles. I decided it had to go on the other leaf. Give that a little bit more of a highlight. There we are, just dabbing it around, making those leaves nice and shiny and gorgeous. And a few bits on the other leaves as well, the little wooden leaves. Right, and now I'm finishing off my little fly with the pink blush, as I mentioned earlier. This is the acrylic metallic paint. It's a bit more vibrant, just a little touch. I didn't want to overdo it. Just give it a little touch of the pink, just to give it a lift, make it nice and sparkly, and a really pretty pink. There we are. That's all done, and it's dry. And a few more highlights with the Pinko de Mayo by Shimmers. Ready to go? Yes. So I've decided it can sit up there on the leaf, and the colour goes much better, as you can see, with all the other colours with the flowers, and it works much better than the other one did. So there we are, it's all done. I really love this one. I'm so pleased with it. I hope you enjoyed it too. And if you did, please subscribe and join me again soon. Goodbye.